Well, hello, hello, hello to whoever's out there. Still getting things just last set up here. So, we are making chili tonight. Wait for some people to come on in. This thing properly set up here. Maybe we can actually do something. There we go. Hey, Josh. No, Pete Dog. Well, like I said earlier, International Scout. My favorite pickup. Let me get things moved here. B-Blood. How you doing, brother? Move this down a little bit closer to the actual cooking. So, there we go. Oh, you're going to worry about your dinner instead of my dinner. That's very selfish of you, man. Hey, I ain't going to interrupt a man from his dinner. Well, we got our assortment here. This is all the ingredients we're going to be putting into our chili tonight. So we're gonna have fun doing this. Trucker girl Kiana, how you doing? Yeah. Actually put this over here. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, so alrighty, we'll be looking for that. Of course, you cannot have a chili properly eaten without a bowl of Fritos. You know, without some Fritos in the bowl. It's just one of them things. It's like putting pixie sticks on a peanut butter jelly sandwich with some corn pops, you know, or potato chips. That makes the whole meal. So let's see here. Well, that's going to be the you know what eventually happens, but you know that's we'll work our way through it. Let me yes. So we're going to run through the ingredients here real quick. Oh man. We are pretty much ready to go. So we're going to be cooking this in the old Instant Pot here. So, some ground beef, dark red kidney beans, whole peel tomatoes, which when you open that up, we're going to crush those up with our hand. Orange, yellow, red, green bell pepper, some white onion, some green onion. We have some black pepper, some red pepper flake, some chili, chili seasoning. You know, all the spices in there, cumin and whatnot. Yeah, B-Blood. Yeah, pretty much. And we can also put some a bit of corn in there. So not everything is going to go in at once, or it actually could. I mean, it's not going to take that long to cook. So, there you go. So we got a little bit of garlic here as well. I got some garlic already peeled, ready to go. I mean, I could use garlic powder, but why not use the real thing? So we're gonna put this back in the refrigerator real quick because we don't need it right now. We're gonna stick that up in there for the moment. So we're gonna prepare some of our vegetables here first. Then we will get the Instant Pot up, plugged in, and heat it up, and then we're going to get it, things put in there, stir it up a little bit, and then cook it, and we're gonna have fun with it. Miss Renee, we are going to brown our meat a little bit first because this meat has a lot of fat in it, and I want to get that fat out of the meat first. Then when we put the other things in, it's going to mix the flavors a little bit better. Now, especially if we were doing like a regular beef, we weren't doing a hamburger or a ground up beef, we would definitely brown the meat first. Like I said, if we're doing like cube steak or chicken or something like that, we would definitely brown the meat first. So there's no reason not to. All right, so first things first, we got a nice clean cutting board. We got a nice sharp knife. We got a bowl here because we're not going to use all this bell pepper. We're going to use about a little bit out of each one. The rest of them we're just going to set here and set off to the side real quick to be able to cook a little bit more efficiently. Let me put that right there. And then we'll put all of our, we'll probably need a little bit larger bowl than that. So we'll get a larger bowl. So all of our chopped up vegetables are going to go in here real quick, just to be quick, efficient about it. Stick that over out the way real quick. So the garlic, we're not going to do a whole lot to. We're just going to crush it like that. We don't need to be chopping it up and everything. We just need to get it pretty much destroyed. Okay. Get up in there. Get where you belong there. There you go. All right. Where's my towel at? I had a towel around here somewhere. Here we go. And of course, we're going to, because I don't want garlic juice all over my uncut. Well, that's part of the thing. Whenever I do my shopping, I try to make sure that I'm shopping not just for one meal, but for several. So some of this bell pepper may get used tomorrow, depending wholly upon what the results of the voting is for tomorrow's dinner. So we already got 5 votes. No, we got 6 votes. Sorry. Somebody put in there they wanted the grilled cheese for the meal. Okay. Let's see here. Give me a pin here. All right, so number 1. Oh, I did write it down. Number 1, grilled cheese on rye, tomato soup with fresh made croutons. All right. Number 2, chicken or beef enchiladas, rice and refried beans. Number 3, beef steak made from chuck roast, potatoes and vegetables. Number 4, tagliatelle. a fresh pasta noodle, nice wide noodle with a beef ragu. Number 5, fish with wild rice, vegetables, tarragon or thyme butter sauce. And we're going to do a tarragon sauce if we do the fish, because I got cod, Atlantic cod, and that's going to go better with tarragon than it is with thyme. Thyme needs a little bit heartier of a fish, a little bit more firm of a fish. Well, you want meatloaf. Well, isn't that nice, Miss Renee? Miss Renee wants meatloaf. Not this week. And if you want meatloaf, get yourself in that kitchen. Ella's in that kitchen making stuff. Get her to make you some. All right, so we're going to take a bit of onion here. Now, I've already cut this onion partly. So we got a nice big, basically half an onion. We're just going to cut that right in half there. We don't need all the onion. We're going to put the top half back in there. We're going to save that for later. And like I do, put them in a Ziploc bag. Got our little Food Saver vacuum pump. So that's sucking all the air out. Keeping the food a little bit more fresh, a little bit healthier, and last just a little bit longer. All right, so stick that right there. So we're just gonna cut that in half. Then just now a few big chunks, some small chunks, but it all works just fine. Right there. Like I said, we're not worried about being too neat about it. So onions done. That's right, B Blood. Miss Renee needs to get cooking. You're voting for the pasta dish. Well, let me find my paper and my pen. So Miss Renee votes for pasta. B Blood, did you vote already? I think you did. I think you voted already, if I remember right. Right. All right, so let's take our orange. Take the knife off here real quick. Wipe that off real quick. There we go. So like I said, we're going to take a third of this here. As like I said, we got 4 different colors here going on. So we're gonna throw that up in there. Just gonna stick that off to the side. Now we'll just, like I said, we'll deal with that in a moment when we're done cutting everything up. But we got all the seeds in here and the white membrane. That's the part that, in a hot pepper is going to make it a lot hotter, because that's where the concentration of the capsaicin is located, or concentrates a little bit more. So we're going to take, plus we don't want that white pithy in there anyway, so we're going to cut that out. There we go. Get that interior one here. Like that. There we go. Make sure all them little seeds are out. There we go. So we're just gonna, I want some fairly big pieces, but I don't want them so big they won't fit on the spoon with something else, and I don't want them so small that they will just disintegrate. So now this is going to be a lot of vegetable going in. Okay, so Nice red pepper. Again, about 1/3 of the pepper. Come on. The same exact thing, you know, trim out the pith, get rid of any seeds that we don't want. And this is where learning knife control is a very big thing. That's right, Miss Renee. You tell him. Get in that kitchen, son. All right. Like I said, just trying to hit that happy medium on the size of the vegetables here. Now this is going to add, along with the tomatoes, a good deal of sweetness to the dish. Not overly sweet, not like you, oh my God, that's, you know, who put honey in here? But you will be able to taste the sweetness from the onions, from the peppers. Not so much from the corn. The corn's not going to add a whole lot of sweetness. The corn's going to add that extra depth of flavor. So we got a lot of the seeds on that one. Okay. Go and rip that right off. And of course, we're going to take our, again, get that membrane out of there. Now you could throw the membrane into a soup stock and use it for other dishes. But my way of dealing with that kind of stuff, that part of the vegetable that you're typically not going to eat, throw it right back in the vegetable garden if you have one. Because that's not lost if you put it in the vegetable garden, because all that nutrients and life will go back into the garden and get recycled. James Catnese, how are you doing? Miss Linda Barker, did you come in here? Did I not see you? Oh, there you are. And we are doing a little bit of chili. So garlic, onion, bell pepper, yellow, orange, green, purple. Red. I was looking for a purple. I really wanted to find a purple one, but what are you going to do? So that's the majority of our fresh vegetables. Our green onion here will go in at the very end on the top when we serve the bowl. So we're not going to touch that as of yet. So we're going to take these, just stick those out the way real quick. Fritos. Not quite a vegetable, but pretty close. We're going to take that out the way. Stick that up there. There we go. So now we got the whole peeled tomatoes, the kidney beans to deal with, along with the beef. So we're going to get out a container for that, or a tool for that, Side. All right. Grab see, this is 80-20 ground beef. So 80% muscle, 20% fat. I would like to have the 73-27, but this looked a little bit better to me at the moment. So we're going to take our Instant Pot here. Going to get this all set up. We're going to get this plugged in and start warming up. There we go. There we go. We are on. So we're going to put us on to saute. That'll start getting this hot, and that way we can start cooking immediately. Then when we put the lid on, we'll turn that on to on meat, stew, beans, or chili. You know, depending on what we want to do, and we'll get that going. Exactly. Well, see, celery is a good thing. You know, a lot of vitamins and nutrients in celery. I do celery, carrots, and onion in my pasta sauce when I make it fresh. So, you know, if it works, it works. No, James. This does everything. I cook my rice in here. I do my soups. I do my stew. I do my chili. I do ribs. You know, almost, you know, I'm going to do a meatloaf in here. You know, because I got the, here, hold a second. You know, because I have a steamer basket. Stick that in there, right there in there. It's made for that. I'll make a meatloaf in that steamer basket, and that works. J.E. Home, how you doing? Welcome on in. Nice to have somebody new as well. Well, you know, a little touch of bleach. You know, get those whites, get those brights, bright. I mean, come on, man. So that's starting to get warm. We got a nice wooden spoon here to chop this up with. Close that up. So we're not going to be worrying about being pretty here. We're just going to deal with the meat just like that. This is 1 pound of hamburger, 80-20. Now, I can't honestly say it's the best quality of meat because I guarantee it's not. But we don't need the highest quality. We're not going to be making this with filet mignon or anything like that. So we're going to get that in there. There we go. So we're going to brown that up just a little bit. Like I said, we want to get some of that fat out of the meat first. And after the meat, the very first thing we're going to put in is going to be the seasoning. Because the seasoning is the thing that takes the most amount of time. And well, that's the thing, James. You know, it besides a pan, you know, a hot plate. This is my most important cooking tool. I mean, yeah, you get the little 12-volt things with modern APUs and regular 12-volt, regular, amperage power. 110 volt, 120, whatever it is, power. You can use things like this, and this makes cooking in the truck so much better. I mean, if I had to use 12-volt stuff, I mean, I'd go insane. I would literally go insane if I had to deal with 12-volt, cooking appliances, because that's garbage in my eyes. All right, so little topic change. Those of you who were on Facebook and saw, here is my marinated pork for my ramen, which we will be making I'm going to make it some of the. I'm going to put some of this in a ramen for tomorrow's lunch. I got enough for 3 good ramens here, so that's going to be fun to eat that. Now, when you have all the ingredients you need, you're good to go. And I bought some shrimp. I got some Atlantic cod. I got some more pastrami. I got some Jello. You know, I got basically everything I need. All right, so we're going to go through this again because this is one of those things. All right, J.E. Home, Mr. Katniss, Linda, I think you voted already, Linda. But Sunday dinner tomorrow, same starting time, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Make sure you vote for which meal you want to see me cook. Number 1, and just vote by number. Grilled cheese on rye with tomato soup and fresh made croutons. Number 2, chicken or beef enchiladas, rice and refried beans. Number 3, a steak made from chuck roast with potatoes and vegetables and a little bit of gravy, of course, on the side. Tagliatelle, fresh wide noodle pasta with a beef ragu. 3, fish, which is going to be Atlantic cod with wild rice, vegetables, and a tarragon butter sauce. Which do you want to vote for? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Maybe, I don't know. Mr. Katniss says number 4. Let me find a pin here. I don't want to do with my pin. Oh, here's my pen. There we go. Number 4 for 1 vote. And B Blood says number 1. So we have a little bit more competition than we had last week. And saying it 4 times, B Blood, doesn't give you 4 votes. Yep, this is for the Sunday audience participation. You vote for it, meal to see. So those are the 5 that I narrowed it down to. I have started with 8. We also had shrimp tacos. We had pork belly and rice with a Chinese sauce, and Swiss steak were the other 3 that I took off of the list. Because that's the list I started with yesterday. But there's my voting list. So we will see how many more. How much more? Yeah, good try there, B Blood. Linda Barker, number 5. Number 5 is Atlantic cod with wild rice and with a tarragon sauce and vegetable. So we French onion soup, that'd be a little bit tougher to do. Not a lot tougher. I mean, I could do that in the Instant Pot. That's not out of the question. It just takes a lot of time to do French onion soup. That's a 3 or 4 hour live stream to try to do French onion soup. And it's been, man, more than 15 years since I did a French onion soup. Linda Barker, I thought you voted already. Maybe not. Maybe not. So, put another vote for the fish. There we go. And of course, I got to check on Facebook and make sure all that is that's good. Okay, so let's lift this up here a little bit. So, hamburger is nice and brown. Like I said, this has already been opened once. I had it in a Ziploc, in a one of them vacuum bags. So we're just gonna put half of that in there. That's the reason I want that fat out of there, so it instantly mixes with the fat and spreads that flavor a little bit more. There we go. Let's stick a little more of that in there. Oh, let's be bold. Let's stick it all in there. Why not? This is just the McCormick original. So we are good to go. Alrighty. Make sure we scrape all that, anything that got up on the sides. There we go. There we go. All right, so just a little bit of red pepper flake. We're not trying to make this a super hot recipe. You know, I like a little bit of spice, but we're not trying to go wild with it. We're not trying to get crazy with it. We're going to add a little bit more black pepper here. Not a whole lot, because there's a little bit in that McCormick's blend, if I remember right. So now we're going to get our kidney beans. Now this is with a, with liquid, so we're gonna. We're gonna drain that out. We put a little bit of hole up here, just let the air flow in a little bit easier. That's gonna drain the that mucilaginous, water and protein that came off the beans a little more readily. So now we're going to turn that off. All right, that's good enough. So we're going to put that off to the side. We'll dispose of that later. So a nice bright dark red kidney bean. Throw that in there. Stick that up out the way. All right. Throw that to the side. There we go. So a nice can of whole peeled tomatoes. Just gonna dump that tomato juice in there. These are, I guess, what they call the San Marzano tomatoes. So a little small. We're just gonna kind of mush that with our hands to break that up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, makes a mess, but man, is it good. There we go. So we squirt a little bit on the curtain there, but no big deal. It's vinyl. And this will break down a little bit as well as it cooks. So, these are already pretty soft, whatnot, but there we go. And of course, it's a little bit messy, but it's worth it. So get a little Clorox wipe here. Get my hand really clean real quick. There we go. And then we're going to do this. So we're going to stir that up a little bit. There we go. Break that up with a spoon if we need to. Alrighty. There we go. And let me get another wipe here for the curtain. Yeah. That's the problem with not having the room to do what you need to do. There we go. Okay, good. So we got all of that in there. Take our vegetables. Now this is pretty much at the limit of what we want to how we want to fill this up, because you only want to get that about 2/3 full. So we're pretty much at the limit with this. All right, I need a bit of water. Just up to the vegetables that are sitting on the very top. There we go, like that. Let's see here. Hey, B Blood, no problem. You have to go. All right, B Blood, you just have a good, safe day. Hope everything. Nothing edited. How you doing? Welcome on in. Yeah, well, this is not Teflon, but it is a bit of a non-stick insert for the 3-quart Instant Pot. I have the stainless steel one over here. I still have to scrape that. I still have to clean that one out. But for the most part, I have the stainless steel, and I also have this non-stick version. So we're going to stir that up so we can get all that incorporated nice and even. All right, so that's sitting down there nice and pretty decently. So there we go. Now, for the absolute last ingredient, we're going to take some yellow kernel corn here. Just going to slice that open there. We're going to add about half a bag of that. We're not going to worry about that in a little bit. There we go. That's the trash. Now this is going to be a fairly hearty thing. Now some liquid's going to come out of the vegetables. It's going to be under pressure, so it's all going to cook in a fairly rapid rate because it is a pressure cooker. There we go. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and clean that off there real quick. Put the lid on. I know this is kind of bright here, but turn that. Set that vent right there, that vent knob to seal. We're going to hit 30 minutes. High pressure, normal heat. And that's we're going to set that on the floor to get that out the way. And we're going to do a little bit of cleanup because we need to. All right. Put that there. Nope. All right, find my cleaning rags. Nope. Too late. Oh, well, like I said, the Instant Pot for me is my most valuable tool to cook with. Because if I did not have a pot, a pan, or anything else, if I only had the Instant Pot, I still could do everything that I do with a little bit more difficulty, yes, but I can do everything that I want to do. All right, so get that off real quick. Get our towel here. So a knife, nice clean knife. And we can put that away. We're pretty much done with that. All right. Dry off our board here as well. So that's good. Make sure our can opener is nice and clean. There we go. Can stick that away immediately. And of course, this is going to get used again, but you might as well just go ahead and clean it up while we're thinking about it. No sense in staining a board that doesn't need any more help. Bit of paper from the garlic. Well, like I said, I do ribs. I've done a whole chicken in it. I've done, a pot roast, meatloaf, lasagna, cake, a quiche. Made scrambled eggs. Boil your eggs in it. I mean, it's a very versatile tool. Very versatile tool, and I'm not, like I said, I have pots, I have pans, I have little mini woks, I have a panini grill, I have stick blender, decent knives. I have a bit of knowledge of how to do things. So, but still, my Instant Pot is the #1 tool. Oh, well, we can do brisket. Yep. Did whole chicken yesterday? Oh yeah, when you buy the little accessory inserts for an Instant Pot, especially the larger Instant Pot, 6, 7, 8, 9 quart size. I have the 3 quart size, but when you start getting to the 9 quart size, you have the accessories. Things like steamer baskets and egg poachers and little springform pans. The ability to do stuff is amazing. It really is. All right, so we got that stuff clean. We can put that bowl away. We don't need that. So we got dinner pretty much on the way. Now, we're going to make a little bit of garlic bread as well to go with this. Now, normally, if I made garlic bread, for like a chili or like a Mexican type dish, I'm going to use a tortilla. Put it in the pan, butter, Italian seasoning mix, a little bit of red pepper flake, a little bit of cumin, something like that. But with the chili here, we're just going to make a little, we're going to use a ciabatta roll. Yeah, come on. A nice, firm, not too dense of a bread. But we are still going to, really, we're going to toast that up. Comes apart pretty good. What do I do with it? Here. Yeah. There we get a little bit of butter here. There we go. Not going to dirty my big knife again. I'm going to take a little smaller knife here. So we got our Kerrygold grass-fed Irish butter. The next best thing to making butter yourself, which I recommend you do, making your own butter is probably one of the easiest, simplest things to do. And you can put the amount of salt in you want. You can put in the herbs and spices in you want. You can let it ferment a little bit, become a little bit sour to get a little bit of a tang to it. And it just tastes so much better when you do it yourself. So we're going to take a nice chunk of butter for the one side. Nice chunk of butter for the other side. We're just going to let that butter soften while everything else cooks. Just going to fold that up real quick. There we go. Now I got shrimp. I got the fish. I got the everything for the tomato soup. And I was going to get a can of tomato soup, some Campbell's, but I just bought me some tomato sauce. And if we do the tomato soup, I'm going to make the tomato soup from scratch, which is going to be a little bit different Requires a little bit more work, but it works better. Yeah, nothing edited. If you want inserts for your Instant Pot, just go to Amazon. Amazon has a lot of aftermarket, Instant Pot, accessory kits. Great resource. That's where I got my extra tools from for the Instant Pot, and I don't regret it. All you got to do is type in Instant Pot, what size you have, and type in the word accessories. You'll get page after page of all kinds of accessories. Find the ones that works for you. And you won't be sorry. Yeah, Mr. Katniss, yeah, I mean, making butter is so simple. You can put it in your blender. You can do it in a mason jar, in a good sealing Tupperware. All you got to do, you want to keep a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old entertained, give them a mason jar with basically half filled with heavy whipping cream, 35% fat. You put it on, you put that lid on nice and tight, you tell them to shake it till they hear the sloshing. Once it's done sloshing, you open it up, you take it out, you drain off the buttermilk, you set that aside for pancakes or biscuits or fried chicken, whatever you use that buttermilk for. You take the remaining part, you put it in a bowl. You get a wooden spoon like this without the hole in it, and you just mash it, right? Get all that extra water and buttermilk out of the butter. Put in a little bit of salt. Keep mashing it until it's nice and mixed up. Put it in a little container, little Tupperware container. Bam, pop it in the refrigerator. Whenever you need it, you take it out, scoop it out, put it on your bread, whatever you can do. And always works great. Well, like I said, you can find it at Walmart. It is a slightly bit more costly. But here's the package. Pure Irish butter. Grass-fed. This is 8 ounces. This is a product of Ireland. It says right there. Now, if I had the time to make my own butter, I wouldn't buy this. But this is the best butter besides the super high gourmet stuff that you can find at almost every grocery store. Hy-Vee, Meijer's, Safeway, Giant, Target, Walmart. You can find this butter right there. It's better quality, and it's worth the money. That's the big thing. To me, it's worth the money. All right, so while we got time waiting on that, there we go. Yeah, I mean, there's a little things like that, Linda, that slight design changes to make it a little bit easier, especially for me, because space is at such a premium in a truck. I mean, it's ridiculous. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, you want to keep a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old entertained. Let them make butter with you. I mean, make fresh ice cream, make cheese. Kids are so naturally wanting to help and interested in just the mundane things because they've never seen it before, and it instills in them manners. It instills in them being helpful, being courteous, being patient, and hard work. When you're doing this for 10 minutes, they're going to be sore. They're going to be complaining about their arms hurting. Hey, Mr. Brad Parks, how you doing, sir? About time you showed up. We've all been waiting for you. Where's Brad? Where's Brad? Where's Brad? So, like I said, This is probably the #1 ingredient that most people do not put in chili, but I like this hearty, heavy bean. I like that in my chili. Now, some people don't think you should put beans in chili to begin with, but I really don't care. You know, you do it your way. That's the biggest issue. Okay, so we got our butter. Let me get a bag here if I can find one. There we go. So another Ziploc freezer bag with the little circle on there to be able to use the vacuum to suck the air out. So we're going to take a moment. We're going to take all of our all our bell pepper here. We're going to strip out the seeds. We're going to cut this up so it fits in the bag a little bit easier. And then we're going to use this for well, you know what? I'm going to save one of these. I'm going to save this red pepper. I'm going to save that to do a stuffed pepper using the chili, a little bit of rice. I'm going to make a stuffed bell pepper with that. I think we'll do that as a little bit of an experiment. Didn't think I was going to do that, but I think I'll try that. So we got our little paring knife here, more than we need. Stick that right up there. With that, there we go. There we go. Pull that down there. So we're just going to get a bowl here for our scraps. So we're just going to trim around here. Get that central seed pod out of there. Try to get as many of them seeds out of there while we're dealing with that. There we go. And as usual, we're going to take out the membrane. We don't want that. And be careful when you're using a knife. You don't want to be jamming your finger and cutting yourself. Oh man, that's smelling good already. The steam lock finally popped on the Instant Pot, so it's up to proper full temperature and pressure. So that's going to be working real quick. So now we're going to try to flatten these out a little bit here. Flatten that out a little bit. There we go. Just cut that like that. Now we're not going to be neat and pretty about it. We're just going to throw it all in the same bag. We're not going to totally vacuum pack it. We're just going to suck most of the air out. Well, Brad, I don't know if you're making your own pasta, but I have a pasta maker on the truck. So, you know, like I said, if I get enough votes, we'll be making pasta. Remember, vote. If you haven't voted already, vote for the meal you want to see for Sunday. Grilled cheese on rye bread, tomato soup with fresh made croutons, #1. #2, chicken or beef enchiladas, rice and refried beans. 3, chuck roast steak with potatoes and vegetables. #4, tagliatelle, a nice wide noodle, fresh pasta made in the truck. Not dry pasta, fresh from flour and water and egg pasta. With a beef ragu or fish, which is going to be Atlantic cod, which I have, with wild rice and vegetable with a tarragon butter sauce. Rolling Keith, Raleigh, how you doing, sir? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Description is in the on the video for tomorrow. So please go vote, put your comment either here or there. There we go. go. So we're taking the, like I said, taking the little membrane out of here just to make it a little bit more pleasant. Like I said, if I had a house with a garden, a vegetable garden, all these trimmings would go into the compost heap, and we would recycle that into the next crop of vegetables. All right, that's good. So Mr. Roland Keith says, number 5, the fish. Okie doke. Let me wipe my hands off here real quick. Got our handy dandy little vote list here. Number 5 gets its 5th vote. So this time, unlike last week, we have a little bit of selection. Everybody's voting for something different. So last week, you remember, we did the pork fried rice, which I didn't think the pork fried rice would win, personally. I thought you guys would choose the pork tenderloin. But, that's, you guys spoke, and that's what we did. Which I'm not complaining about. It was very good. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It hit the spot. All right, so let's tee it up in there. All right, so last night, or the night before last night, I had a bit of rice left over after the meal from Wednesday. No, not Wednesday. Was that Wednesday or Thursday? Whatever. I had some rice left over. I put it in a vacuum bag like this. And, so it's still good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this chili from tonight. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of rice and a little bit of cheddar cheese, I think. And we can seal that up. All right, so we got our peppers in there. There we go. We're going to suck a good portion of the air out here, not trying to crush this down. All right, so now that can go in the refrigerator in a little bit. I got to make a little bit of, well, maybe I can put it in there now. So I just got to have the room to do so. And, yeah, okay, that'll cram right in there. Good. So like I said, take that, a little bit of chili with a little bit of rice, mix that up, thicken it up a little bit. And Nothing Edited says 5 as well. So that is number 6 so far for the fish and wild rice with vegetables and a tarragon sauce. Okay, well, so far that's the leader. The tagliatelle has 2 votes. The beefsteak has 1 vote. Chicken or beef enchilada has 1 vote. Grilled cheese on rye has 2 votes. But we will see also what Facebook says here, because posted both on Facebook and on YouTube. Let's see what we got. Let's see what the old thing says. Let's say that's char siu. Let's see here. Nobody else has voted so far. Nobody else has voted from Facebook yet. No surprise. I got 3 votes from Facebook, but we'll see. All right, so we're going to use this pepper. We're going to try to take the seed pod out, but leave the stem there. There we go. I'm going to trim this up a little bit. Like I said, we're going to take some of that chili, mix with the rice, thicken it up with a little bit of Fritos. Then we're going to kind of grind. We're going to grind up into a powder to use as a thickener. kind of like you would use flour or cornstarch. Come on out of there. Try and get that last seed out of there. There we go. So we're going to do that. We're not going to take. It's not going to be a lot because that's the size we got to deal with here. So like I said, we just mix it up. We just mix up a little bit of those ingredients. Got a couple of seeds hiding from me in there. So like I said, we're not going to mix up a whole lot of it. I mean, it's going to spill over the sides a little bit, but put a little bit of the chili with the rice inside, a little bit of thickener with the Fritos or Tostitos, regular corn tortillas, tortilla chips. Put that in there, set it in a pan. We're going to kind of fire roast it a little bit. I got a butane torch. We'll kind of fire roast it a little bit, and then we'll gobble it down. So that'll be a fun thing. Right. Grab another little bag here. And we're gonna do that experiment tomorrow for lunch. All right. I think. We don't want to really crush that, so I'm just gonna suck the air out by face there. $6 quart, that's good for a house. Oh yeah, I mean, you can do a souffle, you can do quiche, you can do brownies, you can do cake, you can make bread. I mean, the Instant Pot is very, very versatile. It's just one of the things that, I really don't want to do without it. And when I get back into a house, I'll get me the big one, the 9-quart one. That way, when I make a thing of chili, I can make little individual 1-cup servings of chili, put a lid on them, put them in the freezer and store them. Whenever I want one, take one out. Big, bang, boom. Spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce, gravy, whatever you want to make in there, and you can, just put it to the side and let it sit, and cook it up in the Instant Pot, and you're good to go, All right, so let's take care of our plate here. We're going to wipe that off. Get that thrown into the old trash bag there. There we go. There you go. So clean this up. Just disinfecting wipe is a real easy way to clean dishes in the truck. Unfortunately, everybody going nuts lately. It's hard to find them. I found 4 of these today, and there was no limit on buying them. So there was 2 cases of 12 up on top shelf, in the overflow. Then there was a packet that was open that had 8 of them in there. I got 4 of them, but I left the rest for other people. I probably could have bought all of them because of no limits, but I wasn't about to do that. Hey, Lisa and Will's Halls. How you doing? Welcome into Chili Making 101. You're seeing the not so fun part. All right, so we got our bowls, most of our utensils cleaned up. Stick that back off to the side there. There we go. Oh yeah, well, like I said, we got 3 colors of, or 4 colors of bell pepper, onion, red kidney bean, tomatoes, 80-20 ground beef, all the spices, corn. We got some bread here. We're letting the butter here melt come up to room temperature a little bit, so we can make some. We're gonna make some garlic bread with it. So Lisa and Will's, okay. I don't know if you've seen. I don't think you voted here, but let's get your vote as well. All right, number one, vote by number. Number one, grilled cheese on rye, homemade tomato soup, and fresh made croutons. Number two, chicken or beef enchiladas with rice, refried beans. 3, chuck roast steak with potatoes and vegetables. Number 4, tagliatelle, fresh pasta noodle, a wide noodle, not that big, but made like that big, with a beef ragu, pasta made fresh, not dry pasta, 100% from flour, water, and egg on a machine here in the truck. Number 5, Atlantic cod fish with wild rice, vegetables, and a tarragon butter sauce. So you are saying you want number 4. 1 vote for number 4. Okie doke. And that is, we have all the ingredients for every one of these meals on the truck. Now, a lot of this stuff here, I could share ingredients between one thing and another, so it's how you cut it, how you cook it, how you season it, and how you use it in a dish. So we are good for that. Now, put this over here real quick. There we go. Never had fresh made pasta. Well, you will see this is a pretty good, I prefer doing pasta. Turn that up there. I prefer doing pasta by hand, like the old grannies do. Now, if you go onto YouTube, type in the word, here, let me post that here. Right? Hey, look for that right there. Pasta grannies. Look that up on YouTube. Watch what these grandmas in Italy do. The style of pastas they use, the way they do things. You will love to do pasta by hand. But I can't really do pasta by hand in the truck. One, I don't have the room to properly do it, But this here, this is my pasta machine on the truck. Oh, you've seen them, nothing edited. I love that channel. I learned so much from them grandmothers making real, not fancy, not trying to impress anybody pasta. Simple, easy, and it always looks great. So, this is a Hamilton Beach pasta maker. I think I got I don't know what I did with the little booklet. Oh, here it is. So, Hamilton Beach pasta maker. Model number 86650. 12 volts, 120 volt, 60 hertz, and 150 watts. Not a high-powered device, but it does exactly what it needs to. And it works well in the truck. And the thing about it, you got here on the front, here's the extruder here. This is the insert I'm going to use here. Let me take that out real quick. But you see the size of the holes This is the tagliatelle, insert there. But you have small pasta or capellini. You have, well, that's a medium spaghetti. Sorry, that's the medium spaghetti. You have the large spaghetti. You have the small spaghetti or the capellini. This one here is a two-piece, die. One solid sheet all the way around. This will make lasagna noodle. This will make penne pasta. And this one here will make a fettuccine. And you get all those with this machine. And it stores right here on the front here. But, they give you a couple of recipes. Spinach pasta, whole wheat, a gluten-free pasta, a simple egg pasta, listed there. But they should give good, pretty decent instructions here, whatnot. And they give it to you in English, French, and Spanish, I think. I think that's Spanish. That's French. It might be Portuguese. I don't know. I'm not up on my Portuguese, Spanish, whatnot. But this, if we do the tagliatelle, and pasta will come up for a Sunday meal again, so it won't be the first or the last time you see it. I unfortunately haven't used it as much as I would like. I've done 5 uses of this machine thus far since I got it, and I am thoroughly happy. Got this through Amazon. It was about $200, but thoroughly happy. Make ravioli, make spaghetti, make penne, make tagliatelle. Love it. Absolutely love it. If you want to make fresh pasta and you don't want to get your hands dirty, or you can't because you're in a truck like I am, or an RV, this is an amazing tool to have. All right. Get that put back out the way there. But, here, let's see here. But fresh pasta, you put it in the water, you put it in the boiling water, and, it takes like a minute, and it's done. You take it out, you drain the water off, you put your sauce on, or whatever vegetables you're mixing it with, meat sauce, whatnot, bam. It's absolutely fantastic. I do not like, I have some dried spaghetti. I have dry farfalle noodles. I have little pasta cutters up there. I can make almost any shape I want. Orecchiette, Stacciatori, Gemelli. I can make all that stuff by hand. But, like I said, this is my entire cooking surface right here. This cutting board would be all the space. Trying to do a pasta with the flour falling off, just not conducive. So that's one of those things I have to give up on doing. But, I still can have the fresh pasta whenever I want. That machine is easy to use. The recipes are simple. And, the hardest part is boiling the water to boil the pasta. Big deal. I boil water all the time, so it's not nothing to worry about. All right. There we go. Dang it. Here. Hit that valve there with that steam. All right, so we got our hot plate out here. Get ourselves set. All right. So, well, and that's the thing. It's one of those compromises that there is a solution for that most people don't think about. oh, I like fresh pasta, but I can't do it by hand. Some people have arthritis, or they have an actual inability to make it. Like I said, my inability, which is, it's more of a nitpicky ability. I mean, it's just not having the space I want, not need, but want. I could do it in a bowl. I could give me a big bowl to do it in, but the amount of tools I would need extra to do the things that I want to do is kind of prohibitive. So that pasta machine is the smallest way, most efficient way for me to make pasta. So we got a pan here, which, if you saw the Facebook post, I made my chashu pork belly for my ramen in this pan. So you can see the little bits of food in there, and fat and whatnot. Oh, here it is. So this is where we're going to cook our garlic bread in. So we just take that, the fat is already congealed. We just get that and just let the bleach do the work. Let the scrubbing do the work. Let the abrasiveness of the towel do that work. I mean, it's not the best. I mean, if I had a regular sink and I had the ability to do that, I would. Nothing edited. Don't worry about how pretty it is initially. Worry about the results at the end. And your first several times, it's going to look bad. Doesn't change the taste. So, there is a dish that I was taught by a Sicilian mother. Well, when I got back to the United States in 1988, living in Japan, military brat, the first person I met, finishing out my last month and a half of my junior year, and then throughout my senior year of high school, nice and clean, the two Semino sisters. One was about a year older than the other. First people I met getting to a new school. Well, the first day, hey, we'll give you a ride home. Where do you live? Oh, I live up up this way. Oh, I know, we go right past that all the time. So why don't you come to my house and we'll talk, so we can learn about each other. And that's it. That looks will come afterwards. But like I said, you go up to her house. She is firstborn American. Her parents, both Italians. Well, one Sicilian, one mainland Italian. And they did not speak a lick of English. The daughter spoke perfect non-accented English because they're basically born here. But one of the recipes that Mrs. Semino taught me was called rags. So all the leftover pasta, when she made her little shapes and whatnot, because she rolled her pasta out in a big sheet, imagine this book here, 5 this way and 5 that way. She made these big old huge sheets of pasta, which she cut everything out of. Raviolis, lasagna, all the kind of different shapes you make. Hey, Lewis Legacy Trucking. How you doing? Welcome on into our chili making. Since you're new here, I don't know if you are, I think you are on my Facebook friends list, but let's go through it again. So, Sunday night, we're making dinner. I'm gonna interrupt my story here a little bit, but bear with me. Sunday night, audience choice for dinner that I'm gonna make here in the truck. Steering wheel right there. Steering wheel right there. So we got a selection of 5 different meals that I will make depending upon the vote of you, the audience. Lewis Legacy. Grilled cheese on rye with a fresh made tomato sauce and fresh made croutons. 2, chicken or beef enchiladas with rice and refried beans. 3, a chuck roast steak with potatoes and vegetables. Number 4, tagliatelle, made fresh in the truck with my pasta maker. Flour, egg, water, made fresh right before your eyes. No dry pasta. With a beef ragu. Number 5, Atlantic cod with wild rice and vegetables with a tarragon butter sauce. Just put up your vote there, Lewis. All right, so we got, looks like about 5 minutes left on the Instant Pot for the chili. So I'm going to move a couple things around here so I can do things a little bit more efficiently here. There we go. So we're going to take you off the tripod. I'm going to put the tripod away. All right, so here's our cooking station right there. And this is in a truck, so, limited space. Trucker Z, how you doing? Here's the stand, which I know, hooked right up to my tripod here. I put the computer on top of that to shoot, get a little bit closer to the cooking area. So here's our tripod we use for video. Collapse that down here. But, for video, the GoPro, the computer, my DSLR, nice little, tripod helps me do all that. All right. I gotta plug my, my thing in here, sorry. Plug that in right there. So I can, see the comments a little bit easier than trying to see it up there. Well, clean is a relative thing. I try to keep it as clean as possible, but I got a lot of trash bags up there that got to go out. I got a big tub of laundry that's got to get done. But, we make the attempt, as we like to say. All right, so we got our garlic bread getting ready. Now, for the garlic bread, we're not going to use fresh garlic. We're going to use garlic powder. We got nice big chunks of butter on there. This is a ciabatta roll, which I like. It's nice and crispy, nice and crunchy. All right. So, Lewis Legacy, which of the 5 meals, Trucker Z, I don't know if you heard the 5 meals that I want to make, but look in the description for tomorrow's video. But grilled cheese on rye, tomato soup, fresh made croutons, number 1. 2, chicken or beef enchiladas with rice and refried beans is number 2. Number 3, chuck roast steak, potatoes and vegetables. 4, tagliatelle, fresh made pasta with a beef ragu. Number 5, fish with wild rice, vegetables, and a tarragon sauce. All right, so thank you, Nothing for reminding me. So, like I said, Mrs. Simino should make these huge sheets, like 5-foot diameter sheets of pasta on her kitchen table. Just nice and thin. And she would make spaghetti. She would make tagliatelle. She would make ravioli. She would make, all these different shapes that you could want out of these big sheets. All right, you're voting for number 3? Okay, that vote is recorded. All right. So the results will be announced tomorrow on the live stream at the very beginning, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Okay. So, but she would make these big, huge pots, and then she always had these leftovers around the outside. You know, especially when she was cutting out, you know, other shapes, you know, with cutters and whatnot. She always had these little bits of pasta, you know, all kinds of weird, funky, goofy shapes. Now, she called them rags. I forget what the actual Sicilian or Southern Italian name was. I forget what my friend said the translation was, or what the real word is, but the translation was rags. So she would take that, all those little bits like that, throw them in a pot of water, boil them up. She would have a pan full of, you know, garlic, onion, olive oil, whatever kind of vegetable was around. If there was any meat, she would throw a little bit of meat in it, and ricotta cheese, and a tomato sauce that she made herself. And she would just put it all in the pan, mix it all up. It was ugly, nasty little, you know, weird shaped bits of pasta, but always came out tasting amazing. So nothing edited. Never worry about the way your pasta looks. Only worry about the way it tastes. Hey, Sean Keating, how you doing? Welcome on in. We are just about done with the chili. 30 minutes has gone by. Woo! Watch out for that steam. So we're going to release that pressure on there. And the chili smell coming out, absolutely fantabulous. All right, so we're going to plug in our hot plate. Unplug that. We don't need that cable anymore. Plug in our hot plate. We're going to get our pan nice and hot. There we go. Like I said, a ciabatta roll. Got a good chunk of butter on there. We're going to just use garlic powder for our seasoning. And we're going to have a little bit of garlic bread with our chili. Now, in case I want to make more later on, I got another pack. So we did not add any salt. This is my little salt cup here. We did not add any salt to our chili. Chili is one of those ones that I always wait till the very end. I don't know why I do, but I just do. I always wait to put salt in at the very, very end. All right, so take our bread out the way here. So we're getting our pan nice and hot. So our butter's been at room temperature for a little bit, so we're going to spread that out. Like that. There we go. Gonna stick it in the pan, why not? Now the bread's drying out a little bit as well, so it's going to be a little bit extra crispy, a little extra crunchy, which I kind of like, but there you go. Well, that's the thing, you know, there's some dishes that I've done so often, and I know the quality of the meat, of the vegetable. I know how it's going to react with salt, and I know how much to put in, when, and why. But there are some dishes, like I said, like chili is one of those few dishes that I always wait till the end. I just always felt it came out better when I did. So, McCormick's garlic powder. A good little layer on there. Not kind of overdoing it, but not being afraid of it either. Also, Well, we're not going to use that one. A little bit of black pepper. Not a lot, just a little bit. There we go. Flip that over like that. There we go. Let that butter melt and toast that on up. And let me see here. Where did I put it? Here it is. So the pressure is coming out of the Instant Pot. So we're good to go. Wipe that up. Clean up our knife here. Nope, clean that up. Make sure that's all nice and clean. In the trash can there. Get a towel, wipe that off. So we got this bubbling away. It's a nice little bubble from there. Just gonna maneuver that around there so we get all the butter on everywhere we can. Now, of course, like I've talked about in previous cooking shows, we don't use paper or plastic, whatnot on the little throwaway disposable stuff. Real ceramic bowls. Now that's my pasta bowls. You got a nice ramen bowl. Nice actual ceramic. Make the meal worth eating. Not just, oh, I had something to eat and I ate it out of a paper bag. No. All right, we're getting a little bit of color on that, so we're good. Now, I have plastic bowls and things for little utility things, but I try avoiding actually eating off of it whenever possible. Especially when I'm making a meal like this, where I'm actually cooking something halfway decent. Okay, a little hot in here. I'm going to turn the AC temperature down. I'm going to turn the fan up, so pardon me if it gets a little. You can hear that through the screen there. There we go. There we go. All right, that is done. All right, so like I said, little paper plastic plate here. Woo. Garlic bread, quickly done. We're going to set that, and we're going to set that right there, I think. We're just going to set this on the floor, out the way, and I just got to be careful not to step on it. There we go. We don't want to set it next to anything that'll burn, so we're just going to keep that up there. We're going to get our feet up on the bed so we don't accidentally put ourselves down there and hurt ourselves. And as I say that, I forgot to get my water up here. Got a bit of ice for a drink. Put a little more water in there. There we go. Stick that up out the way. There we go. All right, here we go. Put that right there. Let's get a spoon here. Now I have two styles of spoon. I have a pointed spoon and I have a round spoon. Depends on what you're eating. The spoon, just like a wine glass, it can affect how you enjoy your meal. So we're going to use our ramen bowl because, I don't have a regular anything else. All right, so right there. Get a green onion out here. Set that up to the side there. We're going to garnish the top of our chili with a little bit of onion. We could use the onion that we put in there as well, but I would prefer a little bit of more color. There we go, just like that. I think we're good for that. Cut that in half. And just to make it a little more fancy, we're going to cut this on an angle. Just to be a little bit more fancy if we dared. Set that right up to the side there. There, we've got a little bit of cheese in here. We're just going to use, well, we could use a bit of cheddar, but we're just going to use some American cheese. Like I said, we're not trying to be ultra fancy here, but we're still going to enjoy the meal. So 2 slices of your standard American cheese. This is not the Kraft American. I have that for the quality American cheese bits, but you know, this will do for this particular meal without ruining the meal. And we're just going to tear these pieces by hand. We're not going to worry about it. Well, Sean, I want to be completely honest. 30 years of hard labor, landscaper, arborist, 30 years of riding a bicycle for almost 270,000 miles. Growing up in Japan where I learned to sit on the floor. I take a lot of a good inflammatory control. Curcumin helps control inflammation. Also, hyaluronic acid, very good for the joints. And sulfur is the #1 primary constituent of glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM. That's what your joints need. Lots of onion, lots of sulfur that helps your joints. So stick with, just go with that. All right, so here we are. We are opening up our chili. Up and get the Instant Pot open. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Let me go ahead and stir this up a little bit. Yep. I think we may have had just a little bit too much water in there. A lot more water came out of the tomatoes in those in that. But when we add the Fritos to the bowl, that's going to help correct some of that. So the cheese, the Fritos, they're going to have to thicken it up a little bit. So we're good to go. Let's get a nice little close-up shot there. Nice and red. There we go. So we get ourselves a little ladle here. Got a ladle. Let's take a first taste test here. We just want the soup. We don't want everything else. So you can see the oil and the fat, on the surface. So that's good. Oh yeah, you feel that burn right back in here, right where your tonsils used to be. That's where the spice needs to hit. Not up in front, not up in your sinuses here, but way back here in the back of the throat. That's proper spicing to me. Making it just so damn hot, you sweat and oh my God, that's hot. Aren't I a tough guy for being able to eat that hot stuff? That's not important. I want quality of flavor first. A little bit of spice at the end. Make your tongue tingle a little bit. Oh, that's when it's good. All right, so find my gotta find the bag of Fritos. I do not need to add any salt. The salt, the flavor is just right. Salt may enhance it a little bit, but just a splash. Just a little pinch of salt. So, a good heavy handful and a half of Fritos. Stick that up out the way. I'll see you guys later. So, bit of Fritos in there. Got to get down all the way down in there. Three nice big scoops. Some of that liquid there. There we go. That's not too bad. We'll set that down right there so we don't spill it. Put that lid on there. There we go. So we're just going to tear the cheese up real quick and easy because we're going to stir it in. So we're just going to, nice shredded cheddar cheese would be really, really good. And of course, our green onion. So here we go. A bowl of chili on top of Fritos, a bit of green onion and some cheese on top, a little bit of garlic bread to go with it. Oh, we made a little spill here. Before I get my cutting board all stained up, let's go ahead and wipe that down. Not trying to be compulsive, but there you go. But there we go. So a nice bowl. TJ Jones, Mr. Last Minute coming in. So there, a bowl of chili. And of course, we're gonna stir that up. Now this is more of a, not quite a summer dish, but I want it, therefore I made it. All right, just woke up, you lazy SOB. All right, so one last time running through this. If you have not voted, please go ahead and vote. Number 1, Sunday dinner. Your vote determines what we're making. Number 1, grilled cheese on rye, fresh made tomato soup, fresh made croutons in that. Number 2, chicken or beef enchiladas, rice and refried beans made without an oven. 3, chuck roast steak, potatoes and vegetables. And of course, a little bit of a sauce to go with that. Tagliatelle, made fresh in the truck with a beef ragu. Number 5, fish, which is Atlantic cod with wild rice and vegetables and a tarragon butter sauce. If you have not voted, please vote. 6 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday, is the deadline to put your vote in to be counted on what we make. We are still able to have it switch up, so no matter what anybody selects, no matter what anybody votes on here, we always have all those ingredients for the rest of the week. So it's not, the most complicated thing. You also got pork dinago right here if you want, TJ, or on Facebook. It's all written down in the description for the video, announcement. You can read it there. You can vote right here, whichever one you want. You send me a message, through Facebook Messenger or whatever, however you want to do that. But we are, let's see here. Let's see, nobody has made another vote on Facebook. So there we go. So everything is still in the running. Some things are ahead, some things are behind, but there you go. But we will see what we make come 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific tomorrow. And from that point on, it's off to the races. You will go with the chicken enchiladas, okay? Well, that's number 2 Got a second vote for that. So we will see what the final tally of the vote is tomorrow, and we'll make that just like we do here in the truck. On the spur of the moment, we'll see the results. Hopefully, we don't cut our fingers off, we don't choke to death, we don't burn ourselves with something and burn the truck down, and hopefully it comes out to be edible. All right, so chili is sat for a moment, so all mixed up with the Fritos. The sauce is thickened up, the soup is thickened up nicely. Everything is nice and tender. I said the Fritos are helping to absorb some of that liquid, thicken it up. The corn is really standing out on the top, which I was hoping to be a little bit more muted, but the corn is standing out on the top, really shining through for the flavor. But a nice big bowl. I mean, here's my hand. That's the size of the bowl. A little bit of garlic bread with it. A ciabatta roll, which I just got from Walmart. Butter, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of black pepper. Fried in the pan, gets a little bit crisp. Excellent, absolutely excellent. So, lots of bell pepper, red, yellow, green, and orange. I wanted to find some purple, but they didn't have any at the Walmart, so c'est la vie. Ground beef, kidney beans, corn, onion, green onion, Fritos, tomatoes, standard McCormick seasoning package. Oh, damn it. And, a little bit of red pepper, a little bit, put some Italian seasoning in there, a little bit of fresh garlic, whatever you want to do. You can make it with chicken. You can make it with, yes, I can do a green chili as well with like tomatillos. So we are good to go. So I want to say thank you all for coming in. You can watch this on the repeat. If you are one of the people who are watching and have not voted, go to the video announcement for Sunday. It's already up on Facebook and YouTube for the announcement. Go to the description and select from there. Send me a message through the chat on Facebook, through the chat on YouTube. Give your vote 1 through 5. Make that fresh on the spot, and we will see where we go from there. I do make that chili, TJ, like I said, with tomatillos, a nice verde sauce. I typically make it with pork if I do that, but I haven't made that in, I don't know, a good decade or so, but that is always a good one. So, God bless to everybody. We will see you all later. Thank you for joining me for this chili. We'll see you tomorrow for Sunday night dinner, live from the truck. God bless and have a good night.